Archimedes was born in 287 BC in Syracuse, Sicily. At that time, it was a self-governing colony in Greece, but today it's an island of Italy. Now, the date of birth was calculated from a statement by the Greek historian John Tzetzes that Archimedes lived for 75 years, and using well-recorded stories of when and how he died.
Archimedes died in 212 BC during the Second Punic War, when Roman forces captured the city. According to Plutarch, Archimedes had been contemplating a mathematical diagram when the city was captured. A Roman soldier commanded him to come, but he said he had to finish working the problem. The soldier, so enraged, killed Archimedes with his sword. It's very interesting. Plutarch also gives another story that says Archimedes was attempting to surrender to the soldier. While Archimedes was carrying mathematical instruments, the soldiers thought they were valuable items and killed him. Just like that. Legend has it, Roman general Marcus Claudius Marcellus was reportedly angered by the death of Archimedes, as he considered him a valuable scientific asset and had ordered that he not be harmed. After studying in Syracuse, Archimedes went on to study in Alexandria, Egypt. Archimedes most likely studied the works of Euclid, best remembered for collecting all of the existing Greek geometrical treatises and assembling them in a logical and systematic order. This compilation was fundamental to the study of geometry over 2,000 years, and undoubtedly influenced the work of Archimedes. After his studies, Archimedes returned to Syracuse and pursued a life of thought and invention. Today, we're most indebted to Archimedes for his mathematical treatises and the contributions he made to the understanding of fundamental physical phenomena. Using geometry, he was able to expound the principles for such devices as the pulley, the fulcrum, and the lever, devices still used today. Archimedes is also credited with the discovery of the principle of buoyancy. His further research into the volume and density was fundamental to the development of theories of hydrostatics.
Archimedes wrote many books in collaboration with other scholars and mathematicians who claim to have found the works by themselves. Because of this, he included purposeful untruths within his writings so that others would be found to have lied in their discoveries when reporting them as their own. Some of his works include on plane equilibriums, on the sphere and cylinder, measurements of a circle, and on floating bodies.
Being unhappy with the existing one, Archimedes is known to have invented his own Greek number system so that he could accommodate more of his invented numbers. Using this invented number system, Archimedes is credited with having invented integral calculus, and differential calculus. During his lifetime, he set out to calculate the number of sand grains on Earth. It's ridiculous, but Archimedes invented a system based around myriad, or uncountable in Greek, also defined as 10,000. He finally calculated the number of sand grains in the universe as 8 times 1,063 myriad using this system.
Archimedes was a genius, not just in his own time, but is still considered so today. Among his many works and achievements, Archimedes is credited with saying, "Drink it, if you got it." Wait. I think that was one, DJ Ulrich. What are we talking about again? What am I even doing here?
And although Archimedes did not invent the lever, he did discover the reason behind why it worked. It is said that he remarked, "Give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum, and I will move the earth." Plutarch explained how Archimedes designed the block and tackle pulley system. allowing sailors to use leverage to lift objects that would otherwise have been too heavy to move.
Now, Archimedes also invented a death ray, in which many mirrors were at different locations, and they bounced sunlight onto an attacking ship. This caused it to catch fire because of the sheer amount of energy and heat expelled by the sun. This method, many thought that it couldn't be possible, but it was proved to work in 2005 by students and staff at MIT.
It is also said that Archimedes designed the Syracuse ship, which was the largest vessel of all its time and capable of transporting 600 passengers. Since a ship of this size would not leak a considerable amount of water, I mean it does, Archimedes designed a machine to remove the bilgy water. The machine was named the Archimedes screw. It consisted of a revolving screw-shaped blade inside of the cylinder, which was turned by hand and could also be a transfer of water from low-lying body into irrigation canals. The Archimedes screw is still in use today for pumping liquids and granulated solids such as coal and grain.
During Archimedes' lifetime, Sicily was in the Punic Wars. They were just raging on between Rome and Carthage, and so they were caught in the middle, being on Sicily. Situated between the two, Sicily became an object of conflict. The kings of Syracuse negotiated with the nations on either side, and finally found itself allied with Carthage in 214 BC. Shortly after, legions of Romans sailed to Syracuse to lay siege to the city walls. But King Carol II had anticipated this, obviously. And before his death in 216 BC, he told Archimedes to work on strengthening the walls of Syracuse and modifying its great stronghold, the Euryellos fortress as well. Archimedes also constructed war machines for defense of the city.
The Roman historian Polybius tells us that Archimedes made such extensive preparations, both within the city and also to guard against an attack. Huge beams projected at the Roman ships from the city walls sank many of them. Others were seized at the prow of Archimedes' iron claws, also known as ship shakers. These things drew the ship straight up into the air and plunged him deep into the depths, killing all men on board.
The tomb of Archimedes depicts his famous diagram of a sphere with circumscribing cylinder. This is because Archimedes had earlier in his life, obviously, proved that the volume and the surface area of the sphere would be 2/3 of the cylinder. And this is claimed to be one of his greatest legacies.
It's very interesting, because Plutarch also gives another story. What?
In 2005, by students and staff at MIT, I think, like the Mythbusters also did a show about it. Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
We're just raging on. It raged. It's raged on.
Damn it, that was so good.
Now, during this stuff, I just can't do it. My mustache is coming off.